All right, Mayor, it's Wednesday. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
Friends, family, people in the chat, lurkers. I think that's
Owen,
all.
Luke, Graham. What's up, Graham? Shout out downstairs having a little hangout with us here at the cottage.
Nice,
Welcome.
nice. Cool. Well, guys, we got all sorts of stuff to talk about tonight. We got some. We'll have time for questions. We've got some beverages, some snacks to consume tonight, and man, oh man, we got some stories. And to kick it off, Mr. Bluegrass Ken says not together tonight. No, we are not together. This is summertime in northern Michigan, and the vacations have started. The trips have continued, not just started, but have continued. Mayor, where are you? And I know we're going to get into stories, and we'll get to all that, which kind of has to do with this. But where are you at, Mayor? What's going on? Why are we not in the studio? Or you?
So today we are up north right now. We have basically kind of been up here for about 6 days at my in-laws' cottage on Green Lake. And we are like just chilling out, no AC. It's been 90. This is the longest. This is like a hot stretch that I remember from being a kid. Like when we just seemed like the whole summer was like 90. But today I just got back like a couple hours ago from Mackinac Island. For those of you that know Michigan, it was kind of a group of parents put together a group of parents and the teacher put together a makeup trip to Mackinac, which is usually like the 5th grade celebration
Tradition. Yep.
And with Corona and everything like that, it didn't happen when it was supposed to, and so we went and ran it. It's about 2.5 hours from here, and then Betsy was gonna go but had a skiing accident, so Dad stepped up, and we just got back from that. It was just a one-nighter.
Beautiful. And we'll dive into all of that, not figuratively, but we'll get into, or figuratively, not literally, but we'll get into the story and talk about Mackinac, because I think that's super unique to Michigan and just a beautiful place on this planet. And so we will have time to dive into that. The mayor's up north. I'm in the studio. We have some vacations planned later in the summer where I'll be abroad and broadcasting and figuring stuff out. So who knows? Maybe I'll be in Canada. I don't even know if they're allowing us in right now.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Hey, that's pretty much northern Michigan too. They throw down on that a little bit. But yeah, the heat, and I know everybody's gonna say in Arizona it's 112, in Texas that's a normal Tuesday. How many days of 90 have we had consecutively? Because it's been at least 2 weeks.
My birthday was June 30th, so I would say it feels like at least like the 29th, 28th. Would you say somewhere in there? Like,
yeah, it's been. I think even more. It's just been consecutive. Today we hit down here 97. I know it's a little bit cooler up by you guys, but I took a picture. We hit 97 today.
97. That's 97 is crazy. You know, they should have looked at my itinerary and known that I was going to be out of air conditioning, and whoever they are should have just chilled out a little bit. Just give me a break, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And we got a celeb in the building, Mr. Paul, aka Hype Stark. How you doing, my friend? Glad to see you in here, buddy. Thanks for the compliment there, man. It's like I said, great to hear from you. I know I talked to you the other day, but wonderful.
I wonder if he thought a year ago if he thought I would ever even get this far with my beard, or did he think? What would he think? What was this? Because he was here from the beginning. So
Imagine somebody checking in and then like stepping away for a year, and they're like the whole time they're like, what did the mayor do? Did he shave? What's it looking like? What's going on? And then boom, they come back to see all of this that you're rocking right now. That would be pretty cool to see that progression.
Sounds like you've got some updates to do, because we just had a question about Ray's. He wants to know about the mullet check, so you better fill it in.
Mullet check is gone. The mullet is dead. I'll go over the reasons in a second here. Three main reasons we killed the mullet. One, I did not make the top 10 of the mullet competition. I should have not been in the top 50. I may have squeaked in the top 100. There was 141. No, I wouldn't have. What am I talking? I literally would not have been in the top 100 mullets. It was embarrassment that I was in there. But I was proud of my mullet. I liked my mullet, but these guys took it serious. Number 2, it is hot and sweaty. Didn't want that. Number 3, Sam was giving me like a little shoulder massage one day when I was sitting in a chair, and she goes, "Oh, you're thinning up top." I was like, all right, got to go. I'm not fighting nature. I'm not the guy that's just going to be holding on to some long hair and have this big, massive little bald spot up top. And if you have that and you rock it, more power to you. But I don't like that when guys try to like hide it or like fight it. Like, I'm just going to go shorter. And so, nope, the mullet is gone. The mullet is gone. And Tyson asks us, jerky check. So if you guys are new to Wednesdays, we do 2 things. Always, we drink Mountain Dew and we consume. Welcome to the dark side. Yeah, I know, Matt. I'm not shaving though. I'm not buzzing it, but it'll be there one day. We drink Mountain Dew. Mayor, I went special tonight. I went with my favorite Mountain Dew. I went with Code Red.
I thought about going differently too, so I should have, but I just went with the tall boy can.
That's different enough. That's a great value on those, by the way.
Yes,
great value.
Cans are so
jerky. I have a huge sack of meat here from my friend Chris, who's likely in the chat. I know he was the first one in earlier. Huge one here. This is a duplicate, so I do have some for the mayor. I only took out one that I had multiples of. And this is Tengu brand beefsteak jerky, the original hot pepper. Now, Chris informs me that Tengu is jerky in Japanese, I believe. So I'm excited for this one. I went with this one because it looks like it has a dry feel to it. And the term original hot pepper leads me to believe that it's got a little bit of spice, a little bit of heat, but it's not going to be ruining my night. What you got, man?
I'm rocking I stopped by the jerky outlet on the way home. I got the jalapeno cheddar hunter sausage. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's good.
You're speaking my language there. How is it on our hot sticks ranking?
Hotter than Zix, I'll say that much. It's
hotter.
Yeah, even with the cheddar, which I was surprised by. I thought like a cheese would take a little bit of the edge off, but I was wrong, and I'm burping it up a little bit, but that I think that's a good sign. That's right where I like to be. So it looks like Hype Stark weighed in. He said there was no chance that he would have predicted that I'd still be here, bearded.
At the beginning, no way. No way. It seemed like you wanted an experience and then you wanted to get out.
Well, I thought who knows? I kind of thought I did, I didn't know what I wanted.
Yeah. So chat, what are you guys chewing on tonight? What are you sipping on? What do you got to eat? What do you got to drink? You see our plethora there. So this looks good. It smells good. It doesn't smell hot. It's got that dry
it does smell good
consistency to it, almost like a biltong. I'm gonna give it a try here. And it's got this little like menacing looking figure. I don't even know what that is.
Kind of looks like the comedy and drama masks guy, but I don't know, like the smiley face and the frowny face or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like it would be a mascot for a minor league baseball team. Tell me that's not accurate.
The Pinocchios.
All right, it's really good. No heat to it whatsoever, but really good. Hot pepper. I get some of the flavor, but I don't get the heat to it. So, that makes sense. A Japanese demon. Okay. Being that it is Tengu, that makes sense. Thank you there.
You're gonna love these.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Save me a couple.
It's like mostly jalapeno and then a little bit of cheddar.
Okay.
But without being crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're amazing. Very good.
Good.
That jerky outlet.
A couple people commented on my hat here. This was sent to me by my man Rodney. See him in the chat right there. Big man bearded. And they're like, whoa, that is a shiny hat. It's partially because of my lighting, right? I got crazy lighting coming from all directions, as the mayor knows. So it is a shiny hat, but it's rocking. I also have a shirt, but I had this one on. So just kept it on there. So tomorrow we are doing another day trip up north to northern Michigan to my parents again. And my sisters are both going to be there. So Maggie last week met Violet for the first time. And then Stephanie is going to meet Violet for the first time tomorrow. So that'll be pretty cool to bring that all together and have the aunts meet their niece for the first time.
What what is it like? What is it like as a dad to have your sister like? It's like this amazing thing you did, right? And showing, yeah. I'm imagine so proud. You realize how proud you are of your kid the rest of your life, no matter what they do, good or bad. They jump off the boat going to Mackinac Island. Not that happened. You still love them.
Yeah, no, it's like when you look at your kids, especially in that situation, and as a father and as a man, you just realize like nothing else matters. Like this is where life is about. This is where you pour your energy, you pour your focus, and it's just a special moment. And when somebody sees somebody as cute as Violet or Jax or Maddox, and they just kind of go in and just the love, just that. It's indescribable when somebody meets a new baby, especially a family member for the first time. So yeah, man, we're excited. We're going to hit the boat. We're going to hit the sandbar. We'll jump out in the middle of the lake. Last week was the first time Maddox and Jax jumped off the boat in the middle of the lake. So that was kind of a cool moment.
Oh, and, yeah. It doesn't always come easy.
No, right. For sure. And so we're going to grill out. I usually bring up my camping ready Blackstone. I kind of show off up there, get the little get the little razzle dazzle, flip a shrimp in their hat, something like that. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be hot as baloney. I don't even know if baloney's hot, but it's going to be hot tomorrow. But we'll be on the water. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is when you drive back, you're all hot and sweaty. You got sunscreen all over you and all that. So how is it up there without AC? I can't even imagine. I'm an AC junkie.
It's exactly what you just described, except that you just don't ever get relief from it.
The worst is when you get out of the shower and you have the clean sweats.
Oh yeah, you got like a minute and a half, and then all of a sudden the humidity comes back in, and it's like, no. But whatever. I grew up without air conditioning. Like, we didn't have it. Betsy didn't have it.
We did not either. We did in high school, but a lot of the years before that we did not. And yeah, you adapt. I slept in the basement. I didn't have a bedroom in the basement, but I had a normal bedroom, but I just slept in the basement because it was so much cooler and didn't have the windows and stuff. You figure it out, but I would say it's more enjoyable with AC. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
It's nice to be able to get away from it is all it is, I literally I got these like blue mats that, I take them on the base. This is my routine. I take them to the basement. They're like, I don't know if there's gel in them or something. They're flat. And I lay them on the floor in the basement. You don't put mats. And then they get cool. And then when you put them on your bed and are laying there under the fan trying to get to sleep, they work really good for a while. That's cool.
I have heard of something like that. So very cool. Now, Mayor, what? So the Mackinac trip, we're gonna get into all that and stuff. Actually, let's go with some beard stuff first. So
sure.
Chat. And then Mayor first, and then I'll go. What do you guys have in beard tonight? Product, company, scent? What you got going on, Mayor?
I'm 7 Potions, Woodland Harmony. I have gotten into a good routine with it, and I'm actually feeling like I'm starting to see the benefit. Last year, some of the stuff, I'll be honest, I'm like, do you really need to refrigerate stuff, or what happens if you miss a step in your routine? Or honest to goodness, it just seemed like a lot, but it really pays off. So for that review with the Facebook group, I wanted to do my best job with it. So I followed all the steps, and it really, I feel, has paid off. You get just all of a sudden, it's a thing you definitely double check, and it just looks better, feels better. You can tell people even say stuff.
Yeah, if just holding yourself accountable doesn't allow you to be lazy, and when you're lazy, just like anything else, those kind of negatives start to creep in there. So yeah, it's it definitely, I would agree with you on that one. I have in Crusher's Creations Blackout, I think is the scent, or Pitch Black, Blackout or Pitch Black. It has black in the name, and it's I just have in the oil right now, and yeah, looking big, feeling big. I'm liking it. I haven't used heat in a couple of days, and the only thing that suffers right now, my beard looks great. It's my mustache is a lot less styled when I don't use heat. So I'm gonna go with this long term right now. I gotta find a way to kind of contain the mustache a little bit more, whether it's heat just on the mustache or a straightening brush on the mustache, something, because it looks good, but it is unruly and really covers the mouth, like really covers it.
Yeah, I've actually let this go a little longer, and
yeah, I noticed that.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I hey man, I'm just throwing it out there. I think you know what I'm gonna say. I think a beard stash kind of style would do really well. I'm not thinking crazy. I don't think a handlebar would fit your personality or your style, but like a big burly Ron Swanson mustache,
Maybe
with a slightly shorter beard under it. Woo!
You kind of had me at Ron Swanson. Honestly.
Yeah, right. That's a man right there.
You drop that. That's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who gets to just say what he thinks and do what he wants and not what he doesn't?
Absolutely. Yeah. And he Rebel says, why are you taking a break on heat? My beard has just been looking really good. Part of it, so you're asking why, part of it is this heat and humidity in Michigan right now. It is wildly hot and humid. We just had, I don't know, Mayor, if you guys got storms up there. We had a storm come through because it's been so hot and humid. We've had over 90% humidity on some of these days where we have hit 95. Like 95 heat with 90% humidity. Dude, that's a challenge. That is a problem.
It's thick. The air's
thick. And it is like you can cut it. And my beard without the heat has been looking really good. As you guys know, I've been going for volume. I've been going for that bigger. I don't want too streamlined or straight down of a beard. And this is no heat. No, it looks presentable. It looks great.
It's more than presentable. You know how good it looks. Come on. You're like this. Why mess with what's going well? Let's all
for sure.
I mean, you got the shapes coming in. I mean, look at this. Compare. Look at that. Look, guys. Look at that. I mean, how far you wait? What's that Dr. Seuss book? How far you've come or how far you'll go? Oh, the places you'll go. Well, you're already there.
It's wild that you can grow and all the change and the positive that happens with that. It's a beautiful thing. You don't have to stay the same. And I'm interested to see once the fall comes and the temperatures start to drop, am I going to feel the need to go back to the heat, to go back to the blow dryer, especially if we are going to be in school? I mean, so it's a lot of variables, but that makes it fun. I like having to figure out that puzzle. I like things that adjust as time goes on, and so it's pretty cool. I'm excited.
It's like you trying out the mullet, and I'm thinking about like a year ago with the beard. At some point, if you can find a way to have yourself, opened up to things that you are out of your realm of consideration ever, or just trying things for the heck of it, and being cool with telling people, yeah, I'm growing a mullet, or I'm doing a beard, and or whatever. It's already brought me so much happiness just because it's like exciting, a new direction, new stuff. Like why not try? You get one shot at life,
Yeah. Somebody asked me what do. I got the Code Red tonight, so it's my favorite do. If I had to pick one to stay with, it would be Code Red. I usually like cherry flavored everything, right? If you're gonna give me a Coke, I want cherry Coke. If you're gonna give me a Pepsi, I want wild cherry Pepsi. Dr. Pepper, I want cherry Dr. Pepper. So I love cherry.
Oh man, I was learning some stuff about Coke today on Joe Rogan. They're talking about Coca-Cola. Yeah. Well, and like, did you know that lidocaine, the stuff you like is in a muscle rub, comes from the same plant as cocaine?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's a derivative in some way. Yeah, like
interesting.
Yeah, and they still can legally get cocaine like shipped. And they use it in Coca-Cola, but not like that would ever impact someone. But they're the only place that can do that. Like,
really,
nobody else gets to do that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, they kind of earned it,
Yeah, and it's what gives them that edgy taste, that like bite that Pepsi just hasn't, quite found.
It's different. Yeah, there's 100% difference there. Sam does not drink Pepsi, and she only drinks Coke. I can drink anything. I'm pretty good with it, but she only likes Coke. So yeah, there's absolutely a difference there. So Mayor, have you, with being in no AC, being in a hot, sweaty area, have you noticed any differences with the beard? Any challenges with the beard? Is the water different up there? Just give your kind of beard experience from being in northern Michigan.
Yes.
All of the above.
The water is pretty hard. So I've honestly, I've been using the wash once or twice a day because it's just sweating so much and it's right on my face. and that is like with that. So I just wash, and then I'll either like fluff it out and put oil in, or fluff out and put butter in. Just when I say fluff out, I mean like brush up, put one of the products in, brush down, and it's really just helped. I think the humidity is rough. Like you wake up, like it just doesn't last that long, and you got to strike a happy medium between what it's going to be like and what your expectations are. But I kind of coming into needing, I guess I'm looking at my beard more. And so I'm coming into needing to, see what gives me control and how it looks. But when I started this, like it wasn't, I didn't even realize people like, when a guy with a beard looks in the mirror, he's checking on his beard, make sure it's all straight and everything. That's the first thing they see.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new perspective, and it's fun. It's cool.
That is cool. And that truly the first thing and really the only thing that I see is my beard. I'm not looking at like my face. I'm like, how's my beard look? Which is kind of funny there. Detroit Grooming says, happy anniversary, Dan. Thank you. We are 2 years plus. Yesterday was 2 years since the posting of my first video. And I appreciate that, man. I'm not going anywhere. I have big plans for this. I have big plans for the bearded world. It involves the mayor. It involves you guys. So, yeah, thank you for the anniversary. It's been a wild ride, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Absolutely anything. It's been pretty good. The stream was pretty awesome on Monday. I don't know how much you were able to tune in for.
Quite a bit. I watched until, I don't know, like 10:30 or so. I was listening. With 6 people in the house with, like
understandably so.
Yeah, I listen more than I watch, but it sounded like awesome. You had some great support.
It was fun. And we went into midnight, rang in the celebration right, and then I brought in 5 random guys on video with me. So we had 6 guys on. It was pretty cool. So I had a great time. Thank you everybody.
Last night. I didn't get last night. Monday night. I did Command's Corner Monday night.
That's what I was talking. I was talking about Monday.
Okay.
Yep. I was talking Monday night there. And thank you, Detroit Grooming. Mike, I'm sure that is you back there, man. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate our friendship and everything that you've added to this channel, to the bearded world, and all of that. So thank you, Mike.
Dan, can I ask you a couple 2-year questions?
Please.
Okay. First of all, when you look back at your first video or your first videos, what bothers you the most? Because I'm sure something after you polish and all that stuff, like what bothers you the most about what you put out in the beginning, and is different today?
The beginning, I was kind of a watered down version of my personality. I had to learn how to talk to a camera and let myself come out. And so my way of doing that was kind of sitting here and being much more quiet, much more reserved. Also, I was filming in the kitchen, so my wife was kind of around the corner, and it's just a weird thing. When I'm in the studio, I get to totally be myself. When she's right next to me, I get to be myself. But if she was just around the corner right now and was listening, it's just a little bit, I don't know why, just psychologically, it's just a little bit different. So that was the biggest thing is I loved what I put out in the beginning. I love what I put out now. Have I learned along the way? Absolutely. Have I made mistakes along the way? Absolutely. But I never fear going for it. I always give my best foot forward with amazing intentions, and you grow, right? That's all I knew at the time was how to talk to this camera. And then I kind of learned and developed and grew as it went.
What would, if someone was running how is running a live stream different than making videos, and which one do you prefer the most?
They are totally different. So you get feedback here. There's no planning. I don't have to prep for a live stream whatsoever. Videos, there is a ton of planning, a ton of prepping. Execution takes a lot more to edit, upload, make a thumbnail, optimize, get the description, the tags, all that. Live, I set it up, we can go live. You just go. Now, which do I prefer of the two? I couldn't do one without the other. I love this live stream. I love the interaction. I feel like people get to see the real me. By doing this for 2 years, twice a week, I can't even imagine the amount of hours that this is. And when I say 2 years, twice a week, this started a year ago, but I've had some weeks, this week I had 3 streams, other times, so it kind of evens out to be about probably 2 a week. So both are extremely valuable. They both have their place. I enjoy them equally.
Good. This was last week was my first review, and after just messing with it and trying to put a title screen in and things like that, I'm like, I totally get like you how proud you are of every video you make. You want people to see it and share it and get it out there. It's like a work of art, like
yeah.
And I know how meticulous you are with things, so I thought I would ask. I don't know, guys. We didn't plan that. I was just
I love it. Fair way at any time. Yeah, that was cool. So, Mayor, you are up north, but you had went to Mackinac. Now, I want a 2-part story from you. The first part, you did not plan on going to Mackinac, so kind of give the story of why you ended up going to Mackinac, and then describe what your Mackinac trip was like, because we've touched on it a little bit, but I really want you to go into like how special Mackinac is, how different it is. What did you see? What did you smell? What did you experience? All that stuff, because to me it doesn't seem like a real place. Like it's almost like a fairy tale land to me. I absolutely love Mackinac Island, especially. So why were you there? And then just give your whole breakdown on it, especially for people who have never been there.
All right. So first of all, the trip was planned as a makeup for my son's 5th grade field trip. They, obviously like everything else in 2020, it kind of just bit the dust. And so a group of parents, along with teachers, kind of took it upon themselves to invite my son's class and just see if they wanted to go and what they wanted to do. And Betsy, my wife, was like set up for going, and I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. We're just chilling out here at the boat. Her parents are here, and she's she's kind of like that dog that won't get on something and won't let go. And she did that with water skiing, and she's never gotten up out of the water for water skiing. And she was like, it got in her head, and we had the time and stuff. So we gave her a shot, and we got her 4 tries and almost had her out of the water. And she pulled a hammy or tore it or something like that. Nothing that they can really do for it, but she was in pain. And Mackinac was the next day or the day after that. So all of a sudden, had to switch to the B team, which is me. And I said, of course, I'm more than happy to do it. She was crushed because
right.
she let Owen down and all that. And I'm like, as a husband, all I could tell her was it never even occurred to me either that it would happen. I was just trying to be fair with it. It's not like I thought you were going to get, you could potentially put yourself out for this field trip. I just was straight up. I didn't think of it either. Here we are. Let's do it. So I was the man up. I stepped up, and Mackinac's about 2.5 hours. So Owen and I headed out. Mackinac Island in Michigan is pretty cool. It's an island basically right within view of the Mackinac Bridge, which is used to be the longest bridge. Depends on where you measure it from. Suspension bridge, and it divides Lake Michigan and Lake Huron, and it goes to the Upper Peninsula. Mackinac Island is kind of like a little time warp. It's this island where there's no motor vehicles at all. Horses and carriages, horses only, carriages and bicycles. Well known for fudge. It has this place called the Grand Hotel, which is super duper
expensive.
It's $500 a night right now. And we stayed in Mackinac City and rode the ferry, which is cool, the ferry boat ride. In fact, our ferry boat ride was sweet because it actually took a detour under the bridge and back out, and
cool.
Usually they never let you go under because they don't need to. But I don't know what the circumstances are, so we get to that. But we went and we did that, and I stayed in a hotel for the first time since the coronavirus. There's just so many things that came up with trying to navigate this new world. Trying to be in a group of people, a group of families who are making all these different decisions, having itinerary. Everything has changed. I'll tell you that right now. As far as going out and doing things, trying to stay overnight somewhere. From the moment we walked into the hotel, with our masks on, and we're like on high alert. And then we got comfortable. Like, we just didn't know how to play it. Like, there was so much. I was constantly on guard of like trying to not step on people's like privacy. But then like we hung out and the kids want to go on the pool. Like, we walked in with masks on and blah, blah, blah. But like within an hour, we're going down the pool. We didn't have our masks on. And another group, not people we knew, had gotten into the lobby. They were fully masked up. And they kind of like looked at us like, what the heck? I told you, like, somebody looked at the other one. I was like, I told you, that we were like the bad guy now, and it was like, so you really can't get comfortable like you do at home unless you don't have to wear a mask. Right now, I don't have to wear a mask. So that was like crazy. I'm like, I'm on both sides of it,
Right.
Like and then like trying to ride the ferry over certain shows where you're sitting inside and, in the heat or whatever. Riding the ferry over, you're stacked in, it looks closer than a plane, but fortunately we had like upper deck, which there's a breeze and all that. You get in the stores, it was just packed. Mackinac was cool, but with no cars, there's no isolation. Like, everybody's on a bike or they're just walking, and it was, most of them had masks, but it was 90 degrees and hot, and it just was like a little bit crazy, a little bit. I don't know what to do. I just we got to find a vaccine and so we can move on.
For sure. And yeah, man, the island. Another thing for me as a history teacher is it has a rich history of a fort. It has a military fort right on the island. Not a lot of people know that in the American Revolution, the Great Lakes were battle sites. Like, we had actual naval battles in Lake Erie, in Lake Huron. I mean, some amazing ones.
My brother, actually, his Civil War reenacting, he made all the masks for everybody at the fort. So Owen took a picture with one of the people because they were wearing my brother Dan's mask. He made a lot of the costumes for like to show like the what they would wear during Civil War times and things like that. So it was cool. We went through all that. There's so much history there. Native American history. It's awesome. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, we're going camping in Mackinac City, and we have at our campgrounds, we have a free ferry ride every day, all day. And so we're going to be really taking advantage of that. It's like a 5-day trip. So I am pumped. I have some amazing memories there of walking the island. I always remember smelling the lilac flowers. I remember going to like the little random hole in the wall restaurants and bed and breakfast and all that stuff. It's and they have like little just crazy things that we never went into, but it has like the tourist like haunted house and stuff that there. So Mackinac, if you guys ever get to Michigan, this is the second time I've probably said it on Mayjorly Bearded. If you get to Michigan, go check out Mackinac Island. It's a really special place. I love it up there. So I'm glad that you were able to go. And we have another crazy story for the mayor, but that'll come a little bit later, and I'll let him kind of introduce that when he wants to. Which is it's a really, really good one. So make sure you guys hold on to that one.
I don't know if you're I don't know. I was just gonna follow up with that. Like halfway through this, it totally made sense why like settings like bars and stuff are such a COVID like hotspot. You get in like all the parents were good with each other and like let their guard down. Like, you like take people into your groups of safe, and then all of a sudden and you like somebody else comes up, like let's say you're at a and somebody else comes in, and then we as a safe group went somewhere to like see a show and walked in, and everybody had masks except for us because we were safe. Getting used to wearing masks was tough. It still is. Like, I totally get how COVID like is sneaky, because what the normal signs and normal indicators where we would look and say you're good, I'm good, we're good. It's kind of that's why it's so tricky. So
yeah. So we don't want the story yet. You'll be able to share that whenever. But he wants to know: is it a bath story?
No.
Nope, doesn't
No,
involve a bath. So calm
no.
down, guys. Calm down there. Couple questions that I saw pop up as the mayor has given us his great story. And guys, this is kind of how Wednesday works. It's nothing wild. We tell stories, we interact. It's just guys hanging out. We talk about beards anytime too,
Sure.
and baths, of course. And Dan says, "Boo, no beard or no bath. I don't want to hear it."
Well, I mean, you could probably kind of make it a
You
bath.
can swing it into a bath.
Temperature of the water was related. How about that?
There is water related, yes. So Mr. Bearded Dragon says, Dan, has it ever gotten so aggravating enough for you to want to stop video making and the live streams? No, not in the slightest. I don't think I've ever been aggravated in this process at all. I do this because I love it. I really, really enjoy it. I don't get aggravated by the process. I don't get pushed down, anything like that. The beginning, when I didn't have the big numbers, I wasn't doing it for that. A lot of guys quit early because they're trying to seek those numbers. That didn't bother me. I just enjoyed the process. I fell in love with the process. And so nothing whatsoever. There's nothing on the outside that would ever influence me. And so, no, zero chance of that. I really, really am lucky to have the platform that I do and that I've earned. And man, it's like therapy for me. It's probably the opposite of anything that would be in a bad way at all. All right, and then I saw another question here. It says, from Robert Allen, Mayor, you did an awesome job on the new 7 Potions review. And if you guys are not part of our Facebook group, I'll throw up a little banner down at the bottom here. We now have official sponsors every month for our YouTube or for our Facebook group, and it's an exclusive Facebook group. And there's a couple cool things that come with that. One is the mayor does an unboxing video and he does a review video. So 2 separate videos that can only be found in that group. 2, there is an exclusive discount code that is higher than normal for that company. For example, this month is 7 Potions. They don't give discount codes, and we have an exclusive code for them. And this is like the first time that they've really ever given a discount code, which is pretty cool. And we have most months we'll have giveaways that are exclusive to the group that come just with that company there. And it's really, really cool. So, Mayor, with that said, and kind of pitching everybody, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, there's a link in the description. Do you see a new bearded YouTube channel in the future?
Robert, first of all, thank you so much. That's awesome. I like to hear that positivity. It's my first shot out of the gate, and I know there's potential, and then there's like things that already bother me a whole lot about it. So I really enjoyed doing it. As far as a YouTube channel, I have absolutely no plans for that. What I stay busy just kind of helping with Dan. We're working together. I've always been more of a team guy than I don't know. It just fits my personality. I feel like there's a lot of people. There's a lot out there. And I think that this is just a better role for me. If that makes sense. I just kind of, maybe people don't know everything I do for the Facebook group, like different ideas, different things like that. I have learned so much. I could seriously take what I've learned in just managing a social media group and things like that. Who knows, that could lead to just that knowledge and experience. But no, I don't see myself going solo in any way. I feel like more of a team player, a team member than a solo guy. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%. And you're doing everything that people would want. Why do you want to create a YouTube channel? Is to be able to make videos, to show your passion, to reach a broad audience. We have over like 2,500 people on the Facebook group. I don't know anybody that drops their first video and has 2,500 people watching.
That's crazy. That's a really good point. It's such a different course than most people take towards, because I don't even know where it's going. All I know is that I had a crazy day. I was riding boats and all that. And I couldn't wait to get back and be here in time to get to do this because it feels right to me. I don't know. I love being here. Yeah,
we're doing something special with that group. We're doing something special with this live stream. Nobody can take that away from us. And if you don't believe me, just check out the group, man. It's different, and you guys have no idea how much goes into that group. And it's not our job to try and like show that or pull the curtain back. But the mayor has as much of a workload as anybody that's a content creator that's out there. And so it's a really cool thing. So thank you, Mayor, for all that you do for us and especially that group.
Oh, of course, it's my pleasure. Now, is it time for me to tell them my story?
Yeah, let me hit you with this could kind of lead to that, but I got a couple questions here, and they're talking in the chat, kind of going back and forth here. So here, Nick asked a question, then here's leading to his answer here. Looks like you can tent car camp at Mackinac Mill Creek, which is closer to the state park and the island on the mainland. Maybe I'll try that. Yeah, man, if you can get out near it, please do. You wanna you want to be able to try and get up to the island. It's unique. There's very few places that I think are truly unique, and I think Mackinac Island is that. I don't think you can find that anywhere. Like, I love Ann Arbor, but if you go to Madison, Wisconsin, it's just like Ann Arbor. I love East Lansing, but if you go to the campus of Arizona State, it's just like East Lansing. Like, there's a lot of places that are similar and awesome in this world, but Mackinac Island is really unique. It's really cool.
And I was just at the Mackinac Mill Creek, and they're open, but they don't have their like big feature items like the zip line for the kids and things like that. There was a lot of that. Like, they're kind of open, but not really. It felt like maybe many of the people, we were the first group of people they'd seen all summer, because people just weren't traveling in groups, it makes sense.
Yeah. And Doug says, Mayor is Hamilton to DanC's Washington. Yeah, I think that's an even bigger compliment to the mayor, like, for sure. It's and we are both massive Hamilton fans here. The mayor actually took his family and went and saw it in person, and he brought me back a poster, which I still have at my classroom and really appreciate there. So I think that's really well said, except I'm more of like the fiery type, like kind of like Hamilton, and the mayor's a little bit more cool-headed often. So we got some of that going on.
I'll be honest. I thought of that. It occurred to me when I watched it. Just the energy that goes into moving in a direction. And you watched Hamilton for the first time this last week.
Watched it. Yep. I've listened to it probably over 100 times, literally, but I watched it for the first time this last week. Yep.
Our family really enjoyed it. We really
loved it. Yeah, definitely. King George steals the show. We watched it tonight again. King George is amazing. He's so good. He acts with his eyes. Like, he sings but sells everything.
Oh, yeah, like it's all tight. Like, and that's why you wouldn't see that if you had nosebleeds like I did for Hamilton when I saw it. Like with the kids. So that wasn't a bad way to experience for the first time.
Right. Langston says the actress who plays Lady Hamilton lives next door to me. She's been singing in the backyard, and it's amazing. What?
No way.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. That's really cool.
No way.
That's super. And my sister went twice to the original crew in New York City to see them when she worked in New York City, which is really cool. She worked for a very large law firm, and they gave them tickets and stuff. So I'm super jealous of her. Matt says, Dan, do you have any predictions on Saturday's fights? I do. I'm excited. I'm going to be watching. I have in the main event, I have Street Jesus defeating the Nigerian Nightmare. After that, I have Jan winning. I have Alexander winning. So I got a couple of upsets over some of my favorite. I love Max Blessed Holloway. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time, but I think he's going to lose. I think Jose Aldo is one of the greatest fighters of all time, but I think he's going to lose. I also have Thug Rose winning, and I have what is the other one that I'm missing here? I think, and then I have Paige Van Zandt losing. So Paige losing. I have Thug Rose winning, Alexander, Jan, and I have Street Jesus winning. So I am pumped for those, like straight up pumped for those ones, which is cool. Dan, did you know the actor who played the king in the original cast is the same one in the detective show? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know everything he's in. He's in Glee. He's in Mindhunter. He's also in one other thing that we watched. What else is he in? Glee, Mindhunter, and there's one more that he's a really big part of. Really big role in.
Yeah, it'll occur to us. Yeah, he's pretty well known.
Yeah, he's so good. So good. Oh, Kristoff and Frozen. There it is.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
That's what it was. I knew somebody would get us there. So, yeah. And Matt agrees with me on all those. Thank you, Matt. Rarely do people agree with me on anything, and I'm glad you do there, my friend.
What do you value, Dan, when you make your picks? What do you look for? What?
My gut.
your gut. Like
Yep.
sometimes it's fire, sometimes
Yep.
it's a grudge.
And I will say I'm freakishly accurate. Like freakishly accurate. I'm randomly really good. I'm not a gambling man because if I lose money, I get sick to my stomach. I hate that feeling. When I gamble, which I haven't in probably 6 years, and it was on my dad's money when I did, all I do is think about what I would have bought with that money, what I could have bought with that money.
Yeah. You're smart. You got to know yourself.
Yep. What detective show? Mindhunter, Leo.
On Netflix. It's all
Netflix.
about
Leo knows.
Oh, okay.
I think because Leo knows about the Wamba family. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep. Do you want to build a snowman? No. All right. Guys, buckle up. I'm gonna get my Mountain Dew ready. I'm gonna get my jerky ready here. Mayor, don't leave out an inch. Don't leave out anything. We want it all here. I want the full movie version.
I was taking a shower because I don't have my Mayor or a bathtub up here, and I was thinking I have a tendency to like just cut to the chase on things. But let me do my best to kind of just give you everything.
Wine and dine me first.
So 4th of July on a lake, there weren't a lot of were not a ton of firework events. In fact, there were none. So you walk outside and watch the free ones that all the neighbors are shooting off. So we were out doing that. It didn't get dark till 10:15. Bugs were bad. We're kind of in and out. And finally, we went in for the night about 10:30. Next day, July 5th, was pretty regular day. We love to just like like 3 or 4 when the heat like kind of breaks or is really hot right before the heat breaks. We like to go out and just drive the boat out. You're not putting hours on the boat, turn it off, and just kind of swim in the 100-foot water or whatever. So we did that on the 5th of July. We didn't have anywhere else big to go. We were out there, and it's not uncommon that people are like scubaing, and so there was like a scuba boat over there, and they have like platform, like it's like our Owen looked at it, and he's like, "Hey, there's a houseboat."
Oh,
so, we saw that swimming. We were probably out there for 2 or 3 hours. What else did we do? Just have snacks. Then also, another one that I'd never seen, but the lake had been so busy on the 4th, like straight up, maybe 3 or 4 times more boats than normal. A drone flew over at some point, like a crazy drone, like you hear them. I'm like, all right, this isn't quite the wilderness retreat that it used to be out here.
Scuba boat, a drone in like northern Michigan, not a technology hub by any means, not a populous area.
No. Like, well, and then we had the same thing too, as we saw the DNR or the water police were out, the sheriff's boat was out, and they'll be on the lake once a year or so, and we saw them like go, and we thought like talk and just do a safety inspection. It's pretty normal just to show your life jackets, your throwable. So all those things happen within like 2 hours, and we saw the sheriff boat twice.
Remind me to tell a boat story involving the DNR and stuff at my parents' lake. It's awful, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to say it because I will forget.
All right. So we had our fun, and then we're heading like back in, and I looked at my father-in-law. I said, "You don't think they're looking for somebody, do you?" He said, "Nah, I don't know. I've never seen that." He said, he told me the story about his neighbor on the bay in East Bay in for Lake Michigan, who had been fishing with his waders on and fell off the boat, and the water stuck him to the bottom of the lake. It runs into your waders, and they found him standing on the bottom of the lake. Yeah.
Whoa.
When he was younger, as a kid, I was like, "Whoa, that's so freaking
crazy."
Can you imagine? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then, my in-laws are, they're straight up baby boomers who like the 11 o'clock news around here. 11:01 or 11:02, my father runs up the stairs. He said, "You were right." I was like, "I was right? What do you mean?" They were looking for someone.
Oh,
goosebumps.
The lake you guys were in.
Yeah, the lake we were in, and right right where anyways, they're looking for someone, hadn't found them. But apparently on the 4th of July, about 10:15, a disabled boat, like a guy lost power. He and his wife were out, lived on the lake, and he, it was like straight up when the fireworks were going crazy, he jumped in to swim back to their place. They had another boat. They were going to get out, come on and tow it. Well, his wife didn't hear from him, and finally another boat towed her in, and he wasn't in the house. Can you imagine walking in? He wasn't in the house. Like, he wasn't there. So 911, that he's missing. It's about a 4,000 acre lake. So it's big. Not Great Lake, but big. Anyway, so that was that 4th of July night, and then they were the police scuba, without like making a big announcement about it, we're looking for his body. I spent that night after hearing it on the news. I was like looking at like how long till he floats, those kind of things.
What if my son finds him?
Right. What if we were right there? So we ended up, they drag it, or the term I heard was they hooked him on one of their dredges and they found his body. And he was gone, obviously, and it was wild to think that we were right there swimming with him. I don't know if Owen and Luke are still watching. Now they know about that, but they're gonna find out anyways. But it was crazy, and the next day there was nobody on our lake, but we went in, jumped in, and swam because, it's a tragedy for the family. But tragedies do happen, and you can't not enjoy it. So we just kind of got back on the horse with that. But it was crazy, just to have that occur and kind of have it like all those bits and pieces put together and then push it away like nothing. I don't, but if we'd ridden up and asked them what they were doing, I don't know what they would have told us anyways.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, so many questions. Why get out of the boat? Why not have a life jacket on? Did he fire a flare gun, but it was the 4th of July, so nobody could see it? That's a crazy one.
I would have to. You never get out. You always stay with the boat. It's always, because you're so big in a boat and you're above the water. The flare gun could easily be the case, but no cell phone. That's like there's just a lot. Our phones work just fine out there. Just a bad situation. He was 78. Probably had done it a bunch of times or a few times, and I would imagine you just get and you don't realize how far out you are. It just does, because it's a minute in a boat, but it's
and it's one of those like Las Vegas miles where it seems like it looks like it's next door and then you can't get there. And I'm a high level swimmer and I would never swim that, especially. What do they believe it was nighttime?
It was 10:15 at night. Yeah.
So it's
so right as the sun set, right as like I hate to say it, but right, fireworks going off, sun's going down, and you're in the middle of the lake, and it's just
everyone's looking up too. Like nobody's looking out at the lake.
Yeah,
that's horrible. So horrible. I mean, it's wild. And I'll piggyback off with a horrible story. So my parents live on a much smaller lake, and it kind of looks like a butterfly. It's got 2 wings and then like a little middle where the sandbar is. And on the other side from them, there's a boat launch. Well, a guy was drunk driving the boat, and this was last weekend. Please do not drink and drive a boat. I think most people agree, like, drinking and driving a car is awful. And I've never heard anybody really glorify that or think it's cool. Everyone kind of unanimously agrees that's awful. But some like lake culture and some boaters like glorify drinking and then driving a boat. Like that's the life, behind the wheel, got my Budweiser, driving the boat. No, that's not cool. There are kids in the lake. There's families out there. This guy was so drunk. He was by himself. He got ejected from his own boat, and the boat continued and was going in circles and circles in the middle of this small lake. And it was a speedboat. And with the circles and circles going, the boat finally crashed into the shore, hit another boat, hit the dock, and then went up and dry on somebody's beach. This is the same lake that my kids swim in, that I've swam in. Other kids are out there. This guy was so drunk he got flipped out of his own boat and had a alcohol at the wheel. I mean, do not drink and operate any vehicle. I was angry about that. My kids swim in that lake. They've swam in that exact spot. And this dude was drinking and driving. So please don't do that. I don't think that's a cool look. I don't think that's a great thing to be posted on social media. You're behind the wheel, cheers in your Budweiser and stuff. That really, really upset me.
Yeah, boats don't have brakes. They're not, they don't have brakes. You always assume you're always cautious. There's a whole level, like boating is a different decision. Like you have a different set of decisions to make all the time.
Yeah.
And it can be really dangerous for people.
It is. And yeah, boating's a different world. I grew up on the other side of the state, and over there to graduate middle school or to get through middle school, you had to take a boater safety class, which I thought was really cool. So I have my boater safety license from middle school, but there's so many rules. There's so many guidelines you're supposed to follow, and a lot of people don't know them. So you got, I mean, it's not good, but a lot of people can kind of turn on autopilot when they're driving and just kind of get from point A to B and not really think about it. When you're in a boat, you need to be fully alert and attentive at all times, especially for everybody else. You got to watch the other boats. They're pulling skiers. They're pulling tubers behind them. Like, you got to be ready for that. And in Michigan, we're kind of immersed in that. We have lakes everywhere. That is our summer culture. So, but yeah, man, that first, your story is a tragedy. This one just made me angry. Just really, really angry.
I don't know. How do you feel about me telling you that I was actually taken out of boater safety and taken to the principal's office in middle school?
Nice.
Yeah. Not for anything, like, it wasn't that I was anti-boat safety. I was just pro Zan the B-Box man, which was this kid that was in one of my classes who could just like tear it up with the B-Box. And I kept asking him to do it. And me and a couple other guys got yanked out like in front of the whole class. Like,
no B-Box, man. Yeah, I got in trouble twice in school, like in early school. One, I got kicked out of our private school, literally removed from school because I was slanging Frito-Lay expired chips and cookies at recess. I would bring in like a box, like, all right, 25 cents. And they booted me from school. And I had some like choice words for the principal when I was in fourth grade. And they brought us into the office, and they're like, your son called the principal this. And my mom like slapped my dad because it was something he would say all the time at home. So I got removed for that one. And then I also got in a lot of trouble, and I didn't think that this was I didn't think I was being this bad. I thought I was using my right as a citizen. I invoked a middle school, like, school-wide protest, and people like left class. We were protesting. Obviously, we were disrupting the learning process. And I was fully organized everybody. I was upset because when I was in middle school there, and it's still the same for most places, girls could play any sport guys could. Literally, if there was a sport, girls could play it. They could join the wrestling team. They could be on the baseball team. Even if there wasn't enough at our school, there wasn't enough girls swimming for the girls swim team, but they could join the boys team. They could play football. They could play anything. But they did not have an option for boys volleyball.
I would have loved that. Yeah,
I would have loved that. And boys volleyball is a legit college sport. It's a legit career. It's for real. And I'll give you an example in a minute here. I was upset about that. So I started this like petition, and then it kept growing from there and growing. I had like a board meeting that I was scheduled to go to, and then it just kind of got with the wrong group of people, and we organized this like walk out of class in 8th grade, and we walked out and had this. So I got in a pretty decent amount of trouble for that because I like completely disrupted the learning process, and they weren't happy. The only kids that sat out of the like petition was the FFA. Do you know what the FFA is?
Future Farmers of America.
Future Farmers of America. That was a big deal over there. They wore these like jackets that had
Napoleon Dynamite is in the FFA.
Really?
Yeah, he goes to the he tests the milk. The one has onion. No, that was Pedro. No, it was Napoleon. Yeah. Pedro spots the extra nipple on the cow, and Napoleon drinks the milk. This one tastes like you got into the onion patch.
Yeah, I do remember now. But they sat out my protest, so the FFA was dead to me forever. So I was over. But I'm serious. Guys cannot play volleyball. I'll give you an example. A guy that I went to school with, his name, and you can look him up. His name is Jeff Samuels. I don't know if you ever had Jeff as a student or anything. No, he would have been too old for you. He was a freak athlete. He would have dunk contest in gym class. He was the varsity goalie for the hockey team, and he was a high-level lacrosse player. Well, he ended up going to college for lacrosse, and he went to this school called Davenport in Grand Rapids, I'm sure you're aware of. And while he was there, he joined the intramural volleyball team, which I did as well in college and had a blast, some of my best times ever. Well, he was so good at intramural volleyball, they called in scouts from different D1 schools on the spot at Davenport, a super small Grand Rapids school. He was there for lacrosse. They offered him a full ride MSU D1 scholarship. He took it. He is now a professional beach volleyball player in California. Nice. This is not what life is all about or anything, but he's like, yeah, his Instagram's just full of a lot of things that guys aspire to oftentimes. And he is just a totally different life. And he picked that up in college. Imagine if he fell in love with that sport in middle school, in high school, and went from there.
Be an Olympian. He'd probably be an Olympian.
Right. You know? Yeah, and you take that kind of freak athlete and you give him more experience, man. So he's on the pro beach volleyball circuit. Like, that's what he does. He plays duos there. So I was really upset that boys could not play volleyball and girls could play any sport that guys could.
Yeah, it's that balance. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, if you're coming into this time when everything's, maybe that would be more of a reason. I think you might hear. I know you would have more ears nowadays. Like, you would have more people.
For sure. That's, yeah, you got to have that equality. That's always my comeback when people are like, well, doesn't your work make you shave your beard or say something? I'm like, imagine if they made a girl shave her legs. That would be national news. Imagine a principal being like, hey, Sally, you missing a razor lately there? The old legs are looking a little bit hairy. That would be national news. But it's okay to say to a guy, hey, Dan, the barbershop closed.
That's where we're at.
So I say bring volleyball on. Because our school, we have girls volleyball, no boys volleyball. And we have a big school, and we don't have middle school soccer or golf, which has always surprised me.
Those would be, and they're huge. Both are big in the community in this area too. So
yeah, both of our teams are like one of the best in the state.
And we have a couple spring sports, baseball, softball, that are almost like ghost towns because of travel and that a lot. They're lucky to put together a team because of kids playing like travel baseball and softball.
Yeah. So Rodney asks, have they said anything about how your school year will start out yet? Nope. Mary, you want to give any updates on that and stuff? And of course, we're not going to turn it political or anything like that, but just update the people, because people ask me all the time, what's your school doing? What's your school doing? Let them know where we're at.
The last we've heard is just kind of like a blended thing with a little bit shorter days, depending on the age of the kids. They younger will have a full day, older will not. But I'll tell you what, man, I was out. Today was like my first time, and I don't even know if I should have had a first time, but I wanted to do it for my son. It was my first time out and about and trying to rock a mask. It's gonna be whatever it is, it's gonna be the best we can do. It ain't gonna be perfect, but getting schools back, getting kids back, getting parents back to work, is huge. There's just no good answer, and this is the first time. I'm not complaining about it, but I never really thought. I took so much for granted. Life was like totally, even though it didn't seem that way, like. Life, there's just so much up in the air right now. Never before in my life, or even my parents, I think, has like the future been so up in the air. It's kind of a crazy time, but it's also time where we're gonna grow. I'm gonna be a good dad and step up in those shoes and all that.
Yeah, and everything's changing so quickly. So I hear about schools like making the call right now, and it's like, man, it's so far away, but yet so close, you know?
I will say, you guys are the entity. You guys are like a place where I can go. I will say that I told Betsy after just the hustle and bustle today that I think that we are as a family are done. We're not going to be dipping into like anything like whether it's open or not right now. There's just too much risk. I don't know. Maybe there isn't any risk, but you hate to make a false step and look back on the future. Like I took my kids and my family there. So I think we're just chill. We're gonna do what we have to until we get this thing figured out. And I realize I don't take lightly how long that could be.
For sure. And that's why I'm excited about camping. It's going to be us and our family and the wilderness and the lake and all that stuff. So I'm excited. Eric says by the time school starts, Dan will be wearing a full-size blanket. If we have to wear some kind of facial covering, I am hoping for a mask. That is what I'm leaning towards.
A shield or a mask?
A shield. Yeah, sorry, a shield. Thank you. It's a shield so I can breathe and so I can and not mess up my beard. I mean, those are two important things for me, breathing and not messing up my beard. And a shield would be the best to accomplish that. So, man, I'm hoping if you're asking me honestly, I'd rather be online than teaching with a normal mask on.
Yeah. I don't. So the answer is I don't really have a clearer picture now than I did a month ago. And I thought for sure I would, but so much for what most of the things I thought I knew, but I'm going to be there if I need to be there. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So at some point life has to go on too.
And I would say to any parent out there, super important, go ahead and be angry about what happens. Go ahead and grieve, be sad about the schedule and what could have been, what should have been, your personal thoughts. But my advice to you as a teacher, but also as a parent, is to not show that to your kids. You got to be strong for them. You got to be the one that's telling them it's all good, right? Adversity and dealing with it is a major accomplishment in life, and it's something you learn. When I had a bad teacher in school, my parents didn't go run up to the school and switch me out of it. They told me to deal with it and learn how to adjust to that teacher because I'm not going to be able to switch a boss later in life. When I had a bad hand that was dealt, I had to deal with it. So my advice is leave your kids outside of it. You complaining to them is not going to help the situation. It's not going to help them. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to make anything better. Do that to your wife. Do it to your friends. Do it to a live stream. But keep it away from your kids. Tell them about how it's going to work, how you're going to remember this time. They're going to look at it in history, and we're going to make the best out of it. As the mayor said, it's going to be the best with what we have. So please, from a teacher's perspective, leave the complaints away from your kids. I think that is extremely important, and I have no problem saying that.
So I kind of told you about this too. Right when we got there, they wanted to do a class picture, and Owen, it was just his comfort level without having a mask was not there. The rest of his class had their masks off. They all lined up. Owen and his buddy wanted to wear their masks. The teacher even asked them to take it off. And
really?
Picture and it's not. She's never taught before like this, and it wasn't even officially a school thing. But for me as a dad standing with all of the parents and watching my son go through this, I have so many thoughts. First of all, I decided that it's his choice. And I said, what you're comfortable with, and you don't need to do anything else. And whether or not I would have done, I don't know if I would have had the courage to be up there with 25 kids and leave my mask on and have the other 24, but he and his buddy did that. But that was just where he was at. And I think since I don't know the right or wrong thing, I'm not going to try and shape his comfort level, that just blows up in their face. But I was really proud of him. Because I don't know if I would have as a kid. I don't know if I would have had the courage to. Okay, straightforward, I wouldn't have. I would have been there with them.
No, me either. And I told you that first thing when I saw that picture, I wouldn't have. And Robert, thank you for the idea, and all the guys saying, great idea, we'd love that. So he says, Dan, you should look at Sam designing a mask for beards and sell them. I can confidently say that will not happen. I am not comfortable with that whatsoever, for the main reason being this stuff is changing so quickly. I would hate to design something with the current information, sell it, have guys wear it, be around their family, be around their work, and then in a month from now, the information changes and say, hey, this actual type of fabric is not good for preventing this. And I would never be able to sleep again if something happened with that. So for me, no chance. I just something I'm not comfortable with a shirt, with a decal. We're good to go. I will do that all day. But that's not my world. That's not anything that I know about. So I know that's coming from positive intentions, given the idea it's a compliment to Sam and her shop to think she could pull that off. But I can speak for her here and say, like, no, I'm not fully comfortable with that. See you, Jim.
Hey, did you see, is Jim leaving? Did you see his story, his video Tuesday?
My last couple of days, guys, have been complete whirlwinds, beyond crazy. The mayor knows, and I'll just been so busy, and I've had a live stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Usually, like now is when I get to kind of like on Tuesdays unwind, get everything taken care of, and watch those videos and stuff. I haven't had a chance to breathe, so no, I have not, but will. It's always a highlight for me.
And we'll just let it sit. But if you guys join Command's Corner Facebook group, you can go watch it right now, and it is not a story you've ever heard before, unless you look for him. It's like, what? Yeah, definitely a crazy worth watching for sure. Another great like story by Jim.
Cool. Yeah, he always brings it, man. He's great. I've gotten some of the best compliments on videos ever from the video he's in. A lot of people loved that video. So maybe sometime in the future we'll have him on here. I think that'd be kind of a cool option to start bringing up some of the guys that make videos for our group and bring them on Wednesday to join us and kind of just chat and people to get to know them. Maybe we ask them questions. So I think just in the future, you and I will talk, but I think that'd be a really cool idea to highlight some of those super active members in our group.
I love that. I do. I have so many questions for them.
For sure. So, Mayor, what do you have planned for the rest of the week until we see you next week? You got anything going on?
We're here till Saturday. We are like Owen's got his friend Graham here. We are boating, trying to stay cool, enjoying the lake. This is our time. My in-laws went home, so it's kind of
nice. Not nice that they left, but nice to have their own time.
It's it's always nice to have space, and it's tough, especially now with like pandemic. Like nobody's like, I'm gonna go shopping for a couple hours. That just doesn't happen as much,
right?
So we're just gonna chillax and just kind of take things easy a little bit before we head home and get back to that house and that life.
Cool. Yeah, no big plans for us going up north tomorrow. And then after that, let me see. Sam, she's super great at like booking I have an open house. Okay, so hit me here. I got an open house on Saturday. One of my closest student athletes of all time. He was my singular senior captain last year. His mom has been the president of our program for several years. His dad is not really involved in his life, and his words, not mine. I've taken on some of those kind of roles with him when I've had him and taught him some lessons and really pulled him under my wing, and just really, really close. He's going to college on a full scholarship for water polo. So, I mean, there's this long-lasting impact on his life and my life, but this is unique.
Right.
I would give this kid the biggest hug in the world last year, and now it's that playing out game. What are we doing? How are we comfortable? Open houses are traditionally in a garage, in a buffet line. I mean, this. I have there's no like note. There's nothing like, hey, please do this. Please respect this. It's like I'm going to be walking up to the ultimate feel it out process.
Well, and that I was like trying to meet the parents of other kids in Owen's class. You got a mask on and you're like you don't like 60 or 70% of all communication was gone. So I always had to go up and like, hello, you know, like straight up out of my comfort zone. Hey, I'm Owen's dad. My name's Steve. You know, but and just kind of bring, like, you really have to push that if you want to make those connections, you know. For you, my advice, and that's what I always try to do, is what do you want to communicate to this kid? What do you know, how do you want to communicate it? And is there a way you could do that? Could you call, FaceTime? Could you communicate how much they meant to you without like all that, you know, weirdness that goes with it? Because it is really tough, you know?
Yeah. Now I'm going to be there, and Jesse says, just hug them. I'd love to, but you also got to respect their comfort level. You know, there's nothing worse than somebody pushing on your toes and your comfort level. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. This is a weird year for seniors, and it'll be kind of the little cap on it. So I'm excited to go. I'm excited to see him, see his mom, and end it the right way. But talk about a unique thought that I've been going to open houses for. I've been coaching for 13 years now. I've been going to open houses for 13 years every summer to see my seniors, and this is the most unique by far. Luckily, I think I am invited to one this year because I only had one senior. Or no, I have a couple. I got a couple from outside of water polo, but that's my Saturday, so that's going to be interesting.
My advice would be, if you've decided you don't want to hug people, you reach out ahead of time, put it out there, because what I observed is like in a big group where everybody's watching everybody, like one person will break the ice, and then you just like naturally fall. It's like a relief, like you're like, okay, we can get back. And I'm sure that's how it happens in like bars and stuff. It's like people just want to interact. We love each other. People are awesome. Like I don't want to be the last man in the world. I don't want to, right. I want to hear the jokes. I want to hear stories. So people just want someone to give that clue, but it doesn't always mean it's the right thing to do. We don't know, you know. It's crazy.
So somebody asks, what's an open house? An open house is a graduation party. So when a senior graduates, they usually cater food. You give them a card. You put some money in it, and it's just everybody kind of hangs out there. Do you have a code with Beard Octane? I do. It is DanC10, all caps. DanC10, and that is for 10% off for Beard Octane. All right, Vinny G, take care. And we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute, guys. So thank you once again, as always, for rolling with us with our crazy stories. 90% of it not beard related. It's just like guys hanging out, talking. As the mayor said, we need this. You guys are the men that I get to hang out with. I think that with this lockdown, I really mean this. There's a lot of men that forget how to be men, how to interact, how to talk with others, how to just be a man. Normally we're at sports bars. We're giving each other a hard time. We're joking, interacting. We don't have those opportunities right now. For me, this is that release. Good people, talking with good people, having a good time. Men being men.
Well, and it's a positive communication. You know, I messaged you to check out Joe Rogan's thing. They were talking about how, you know, like processed food is to what like obesity is, as social media during this time is to our spirit or our soul, or like,
for sure.
Because if you get bogged down in the negativity, like look at Twitter. Twitter is in Twitter, you say something and then you wait for people to like cut it down or agree with it. You know, it's like
never had one, and it's mainly for that reason. All Twitter is, there's zingers back and forth.
It's like 50% of it just ends up in fights or arguments. And then you spend your whole day, you're at your kids, you know, you're swimming with your kid in the lake, and your head's like, what's he going to say next? Or right. I'm going to finally get him, and he's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm done. You know, you're right.
I got to have the last response. I know. I still got to watch the one. I know Joe Rogan has talked about that guy on many other podcasts, and it came from like, I think a tweet, and Joe Rogan was like, that's the most well-said thing ever, that social media, negative social media is the processed food for your soul. And he said, like, everything that you're digesting as far as socially is just as important as what you're digesting as far as food. what you bring in, it has a major impact on you. So that's big. California Bear says, this is my first time buying. How do I use it? So you're going to make your whole cart. You're going to go to checkout. And then once you go through the checkout process, there will be a spot that says to apply discount or coupon code here, or I think it has gift card code as well. And you just check it in, just put it in that checkout, and you'll be good to go. So it is huge.
It will autocorrect in your bot. Like you'll see you're getting it off before you press like it was whatever your percentage was. So don't click that until you actually see that reflected in the itemization.
Yeah, and Chris, as always, is on point here. He says, at least you have one another and families that keep both of you focused and sane despite the media. Facts.
Sure.
If there's anything, and trust me, there's negative stuff that tries to creep in, that tries to make its way over here. It just doesn't enter here. And if anybody knows me, I really mean that. Like, it's actually true because of my family and because of who we have surrounding us. Like, if any of that creeps in, I literally just go look at Violet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is the stupidest thing in the world to spend my mind strength on, to spend my time thinking about. Why would I ever do that? Or I talk to Steve. Literally, Steve and I talk about those things, and we help each other out and go through them. And the mayor messaged me the other day and was like, hey, man, I kind of know what you're talking about. And I've had an experience like that. And Chris, I couldn't say it any better. The people you surround yourself with and your family, killed it, Chris. You always have those great quotes there. So yeah, man, I love it. Love it. Mayor, any final thoughts here? I think it's about closing time. I've sang twice tonight and you sang 0.
I know. What's up? I feel like my energy's there, but like I just had a lot to say, I was more upfront, telling the tales. I had a lot to share.
Love it. I still have to give my murder story. That maybe we pencil in next week, because that one's gonna captivate you guys.
Yeah, that's an awesome one. Maybe I'll write. Yeah, I like asking you questions because I think of them occasionally, like thinking back to that story. So
yeah, please, I love that.
I'll write them down. As far as this week goes, I know it's the middle of the summer. It's not really beard season. No,
it's the lowest point usually for beard companies and beard content creators. The middle of the summer is when everything kind of dips. The fall picks up. No Shave November skyrockets. The holidays skyrocket. But right now is definitely the lowest point for the bearded world.
So I just want to say, you guys that are here are the roots to our tree. You guys are holding us together, and we really appreciate and admire that. I wouldn't be here without you. Wouldn't make it through the storm without you.
True.
Like the big, I'm not saying there's any big storm, but like you hold us together. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, I love talking to the mayor, but it'd be a little bit different if it was just the two of us talking back and forth here. So, yeah, man, you guys make it, man. You really do. So, thank you guys as always for listening to us talk, for interacting, talking amongst yourselves, and just bringing a chill, positive, supportive. I think that's the best word for Wednesdays, is just supportive, man. Somebody says they're not doing well, everybody jumps in with the support. People say, hey, I got this coming up. They jump in with the support. So I'm ready. I'm really appreciative of what everybody brings here, man. It's really huge, really huge. So
I agree.
Yep, I'm gonna leave Chris's comment up there as we leave. I think that's really well said. And Chris, we're always here for you, man. We always got you. So I appreciate that. Guys, have a great week. Got a new review video on Friday on a company I haven't reviewed yet. Full review. And anytime it's a new company, we break down the different segments from the company info, the price, the sense with Sam, the feel and beard, and then the recommendations or the rebuy. And then on Sunday, I have a video that I think is going to be a really good one. So make sure you guys get ready for those at 8 a.m. and tune in. Get a hold of me if you ever need anything. And check out the Facebook group that the mayor and myself put a lot of work into. And we